Meth plus sex equals addiction, yes! Alrighty, what's up guys? How's everyone doing? It's dark because it's nighttime. If you did not know that, I don't know what the hell to tell you. So, right now, gonna go meet up with Tyler. Gonna ride out to Palm Springs really quick. What? Oh, go. I don't have it in neutral. I do that to myself sometimes. It's so stupid. There we go. Yeah, baby. Alright, so I'm on my way to Tyler's house. Wanted to talk about something real quick. It's a question that I hear a lot. I've only gotten this question personally a few times, and it was a question that I had a long time ago. That question is, I'm just getting into riding. What bike do I get and why? Or what's a good beginner bike? Now, a lot of people have their own opinions. Just about every single moto vlogger out there has a video on this. So I encourage you, go watch them and take everyone's side into consideration. But yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. Now, personally, what I did was, when I first started riding, first time I ever got on any sort of bike, it was a Raptor 700. That was foolish. I didn't wreck or anything. It's just I was really young. Now, that was the first time. That was the first thing that ever got me into bikes. From there, a few years later, one of my coworkers, a good buddy of mine, he has a Ninja 250, and my goodness, that for me was the ultimate starter bike. And I'm 200 pounds. Might not look like it, but I am. And let me tell you why that's the ultimate starter bike in my opinion. Now the Ninja 250 is now the Ninja 300. Honda still has the 250. I would recommend going with one of those because, one, clutch and power. Now the bike has pickup. Tony's, from what he has told me, it tops out at about 100 miles an hour. Which, if you're starting out, I really wouldn't recommend going over that. You will eventually, don't worry, you will over time. You upgrade your bike and everything like that, you'll get over that 100 mile an hour mark. Now the reason why I say do that instead of going straight to a 600, or one of my friends even went all the way up to a 1000 for his first bike. He got a CBR 1000. Unfortunately, he no longer has it anymore because he wrecked. It wasn't even a bad wreck, but he wrecked regardless. It wasn't because he was a new rider or anything. Okay, so another reason why I said the 250 or 300 is because, let's say you were to drop the clutch. You can do a wheelie on a 300, 250. The chances of it are very unlikely. You gotta know what you're doing in order to do it. Now, that's the main reason. There's more room for error if you're on a 250 or a 300. Also, another thing, the bigger in size you go on a bike, the bigger the engine has to be. The bigger the engine, the more weight you're going to have naturally. That weight you have to be able to maneuver and just about swing around any way you goddamn want. Just like that. Now, a 250, you can do a hell of a lot more than what I just did. It is so nimble that if something was to happen, you can get out of the way quickly. It is so light. I do not know how light it is. I think it's around the 350 wet range, somewhere around there. It's pretty ridiculous how light it is and how nimble it is. Also, too, what I like about them is they're a great starting point. They are they are a clip-on and they're not a clip-on. See, mine is not a clip-on, mine is raised up a little bit. It's supposed to be more of an upright position. Now on a Ninja 250 and a 300, that's going to be a little bit different. The handlebars are bolted directly onto the top of the triple tree. So, you're leaning over, you're not leaning over too much, you still have an upright position. It's very, very comfortable. Honestly, it is what I started out on, literally getting into street bikes. It's what I started out on. Absolutely love the bike. There's nothing wrong with it. Another thing that I like I said, he has a Ninja 250. That bike has been down 4 times. The only thing he's ever really had to replace, aside from tires, was he got a new sprocket because he wanted to, and he got a new chain, 2 new chains. That was it. Now, is that bad? No. From what I believe, I think he has almost 20,000 miles on his bike. He's got more than double of what I have. Now, the downfalls of going with a bigger bike. You have more pickup. The throttle's extremely touchy. When you take off, if you give it enough gas, and I do it now because I feel like it, and I know how to control my bike now. If you give it enough gas and you let off the clutch quick enough, you'll pop a wheelie right off the line. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to do. But if you're a new rider, to me personally, that is not something that I would want. I would freak out. Because you're just learning how to ride a motorcycle on the street. You're just learning the actual controls of a motorcycle. Even though you may know where they are, and you know what all of them do, you're still just learning the controls. On top of that, you're learning how to maneuver a bike. You're learning how to turn, well, pretty much turn, stay in an upright position, which staying in an upright position is not hard. The faster you go, the more the bike is going to hold itself up. Now, another thing too, a lot of people don't get is, right now, my kickstand's not down. I'm sitting on my bike and I'm using my feet to keep it up. Now, a factor that a lot of people don't take into consideration, like I said before, is the weight of the bike. Oh, there's a dog. I thought someone was whistling at me. A dog barking. You have to factor in weight. Now, I'm not gonna say who did this. It was pretty fucking funny when I found out. But this certain person That's kind of fun. This person was able to get on his friend's bike. I don't know the other guy. I only know the guy that I'm talking about. He was allowed to try out his bike. Now, he never let anyone try out the bike before, because when you have a bike, it's your baby. You don't want anyone to ride it. It's yours. There's so much that can go wrong on a bike. You just fear someone else even getting on it. Unless they're on the back. Fuck it. But, so I believe it was a 1000, if not pretty damn close to it. Now, this guy that I'm talking about is so small that when he got on the bike, he didn't even get going yet. He had his feet on the ground. He dropped it on its side. Just. Now I heard the other guy got fucking pissed. I would too. It's kind of insulting too. The fuck, buddy? You gonna drop my bike while you're standing up instead of going? Now, I heard it only got a little bit of a small scratch. But it's still a scratch. That's that guy's baby. It's his motor child. That's what I have to say about that. Start small. Don't start on a 600. Now this is a 600. This is my first bike to own myself. But I didn't start out on a 600. Tony was kind enough to give me the keys to his bike if I gave him the keys to my car, so you know he had a vehicle to use. And he would let me go when he knew that he could trust me being on a bike. He let me go out and ride to get practice. Tony was kind enough to do that until I was to the point to where I was like, you know what? I got it. I can maneuver the way I want to. I have clutch control. I have throttle control. All those main factors that you need when you're on a bike, I got. I feel that I had that down. So I went out looking for my own bike. Since I had been on a 250 for a while, I went out looking for a 600. And I got my 600. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Going from a 250 to a 600 is a huge fucking difference. Now, keep in mind, the bike that I have, the 600, sure, it's the R6 motor, but it's a detuned bike. It's an R6 motor, but it's on a 2010 FZ6R. It's a Yamaha R6 engine in a different housing. My bike is a little bit more upright, which I like. I did drop the handlebars a little bit just to make it more comfortable for me and how I want it. And I love the bike. It's great. Nice 600. Great mobility. Like you saw earlier, I just whip this thing around like there's no tomorrow. Okay, so like I said before, that's why I would choose a 250 or a 300 over any other bike to start out with. It's a good starting point. It's fun. And a lot of people use a 250. 6'4" Honda. He's on a Honda 250. Not a bad bike. Space Pod. Space Pod's on a Ninja 300 or the ZX3R. Watch those two videos. By looking at the controls, and how the bike handles, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And they are both very sporty bikes, very sporty looking, very economical. Their bikes get 50, if not over 50 miles to the gallon. I don't. But the higher you go up, you know, the more you'll end up putting out for gas. But that's my whole spiel on your first bike, what you should get, why you shouldn't get a 600 or higher. And yeah, please, if you like the video, rate, comment, subscribe. Again, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and thank you to everyone that has already subscribed. Thanks. See ya.